Acha. So we'll start with the Khuddam news. So Qasim, if we can ask you to start, and then inshallah, while you're talking, we'll probably have more people joining in. And we can discuss the national ijtima after that, how it was for everyone. So Qasim, I'll hand it over to you for now, and then we'll go over to the discussion topic later on.
All right. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to this week's K News. We're back after last week, National Ijtima, which went brilliantly. I do apologize, I'm a bit sick today, so I might not be the hype guy I normally am. New segments are not out next week because I've been really sick. That was not intentional. Also, starting with special feature, MK Ijtima 2021, or is it 2020? I'm not sure. So MK held this annual National Ijtima at a location in Tilford, Marshall, after the last year being online, and we got the opportunity even just a year later to hold it. I'm not sure what the attendance was, but hopefully in the discussion we can learn more about it. Starting great off with Britain news. Squirrel crawler Squirrel. Northumberland red squirrel sighting has increased, which is very brilliant news. So for those of you who didn't do A-level biology like I did, we did a case study about red squirrels. So these are endangered species, and they're in competition with gray squirrels. Due to the high numbers of gray squirrels, they always outcompete them. So outcompete them with food and everything. So they're getting less. However, due to a lot of measures taken place, like gray squirrel shooting and kind of preserving their the number of red squirrels have increased by 20%, which is really good. So it's slowly bringing it back from extinction, endangered species. And red lorry, yellow lorry. BP closes some sites due to lorry drivers shortage. So last week I noticed this in the morning after Fajr. We needed to get petrol. And we literally went to a petrol station, half of the tills were closed, and there was literally the sign all over the place. And about the BP, which owns about 300 of the 1200 petrol stations, and a handful of sites were affected them. Coincidentally, we got a message in WhatsApp which says HGV truck training introduction, and any Khuddam and Ansar interested in qualifying in the HGV industry. So this is a bit convenient that we have a shortage of lorry drivers, and coincidentally we get this if information news. Gas. Where does UK it gets its gas, and is it facing a shortage this winter? So as you have heard in the news, if you hadn't, then what have you been doing? We're actually facing a potential gas crisis. Sorry. So one of the issues with UK is that we don't have many storage capacity for gas. So although we're about like we hold the 10% of all of Europe's population, we only have about 8.9 terawatts of gas storage. Another reason is most of our gas imports come from Norway, and even combining all the different Norway by far gives us the most gas, and the prices are going up. So uh, that could be linked to big issues. So if you all remember the famous Deadpool memes, did you leave your stove on? I think this is where it might actually get serious. It might not be a meme anymore. Entertainment news, Netflix and books, bad combination. Netflix has bought the rights to Roald Dahl's classic children's books from the author's family, and that means they literally own it, and they can do whatever they want with it. They can do like a comedy show with it. They can start a TV series with Roald Dahl books, and they can like turn movie and everything. And Netflix has had a bad reputation of making shows. Now, straight to sports. Now, obviously, it's everyone's favorite segment, stats time. So currently, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United are tied in first place. And again, this is the weird thing. We have the top scorers, and it's literally 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and then just 14, 14, 14. this is too big of a coincidence. I mean, the first three players have one in them, which is also a big coincidence. And then we have all these fours and the 14th. It is really weird. Also for tomorrow, we have again about 7 games happening, and then more coming on later. So if you're uh, so if you can decide which one you want to watch, you can do so. Science news. All it takes is a small step to cause decades of research. So humans have reached Americans at least 7,000 years earlier than previously thought. So as you all know, the earliest forms of life are thought to happen in Africa, and a lot of believe about like thousands of years ago, the land masses of Alaska and Russia were actually connected, which allowed people from Asia and Africa to migrate over. As to when it occurred, that's where it starts a lot of questions. And the a team working in Mexico has found that scores of human footprints dated are before dated to between 23,000 and 21,000 years, which is 7,000 years way earlier than the 16,000 years that was predicted earlier. So that's an interesting find. There's no debating, but here's the front cover if you want to see it. Again with misfortunes. There's yet another attack in London that occurred. So Sabina Nessa was killed by a stranger as she walked to meet a friend at a pub. This was actually happened in a very local area where we had three sides of the park were clear highways where and it still happened. So a lot of investigation is going on. And for more about it, you can continue watching the news. Finally, Jamaat news. If you have you written a letter to Azur, I just wrote one today. So if you haven't written a letter to Azur, please try to uh, write it. Also, this week is Azur. Did you think I would forget it?
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
what did you do for enjoyment and recreation whilst in Ghana?
There was no recreation. Every moment which I spent there, whether sitting or standing or moving or doing some work, that was the recreation. And that I enjoyed every moment there. We didn't have television, we didn't have even radio, we didn't have light most of the time. So the only thing I enjoy would be after coming from my work, spend some time with my family and spend some time on reading books. That's the only thing. Okay?
Jazakallah.
So this was a amazing one of the amazing insight of Hazur's time in Ghana, where he did a lot of work and stuff. So Jazakallah for listening and making it this far. So have your notes ready for Kahoot. I don't know if they're Kahoot days, but I forgot to give the question. So don't expect any questions from K News, unfortunately. Sorry. Jazakallah. Oh, right on cue, the vacuum starts blaring.
Jazakallah Qasim, even through your ill health, you still must like we do it with great enthusiasm and delivering the news. It's really important, guys. While we do the news, Hazur always used to tell us when we're in Jamias, learn your religious knowledge, but you should be always updated with what's happening around the world as well. So secular knowledge is really important as well, especially when you want to connect with people. If you want to have any discussions or debates, you need to know what's going on and be able to give an opinion of what your religion says about things, and just generally being able to have discussions around these certain topics. So Jazakallah Qasim for delivering us that news. I like the one about the petrol. I didn't know we got our petrol from Norway. It's quite interesting that they even have that much petrol, mashallah. Tika.